They had done it. The war was over. Europeans everywhere on the continent exploded onto the streets in one momentous tide of joy. The world had just seen the worst human conflict in recorded history. Finally, the nightmare was over, and all those in Europe, America, and even Germany rose up in one tumultuous celebration. In a railway car on the 11th of November in 1918, military officers met to sign the document that would end the war. Newspapers all around the world heralded the joyous news. However, the war was far from over for a select few. In January of 1919, leaders from the victorious nations joined together to hammer out terms of peace. From the beginning, the negotiations were not easy. With many different demands from many countries concerning land redistribution and reparation payments, the conference slowly ground on. Finally, on June 28, 1919, the treaty was signed. However, when presented to the United States Senate, it was voted down 39 to 55. Even though the American public was generally in favor of the Treaty of Versailles, their favor was not enough to defeat the stiff opposition in the U.S. Senate. This was for several reasons. President Wilson was most likely the most dedicated supporter of the treaty in America, but only because it included his pet project, the League of Nations. Wilson believed that the organization could handle any problem caused by the other articles in the treaty. The problems which came along, however, were not settled by the League of Nations. It would take another world war to settle problems with the Treaty of Versailles. The Senate also strongly disliked the idea of being bound to other nations in the League of Nations. This violated America's heritage of isolationism. Henry Cabot Lodge and Senator Philip Knox made some of the most defiant stances against the treaty. Among other demands, the Treaty of Versailles slapped down insatiable reparation payments on the destroyed country of Germany. This and several other humiliating articles embittered the German people and paved the way for Adolf Hitler's rise to power. The treaty failed to receive its critical support in America in light of these brutal conditions. The treaty's troubles in America didn't end there. The 1920s in America marked a significant change in everyday life as tired soldiers returned from war and longed for normalcy. Americans were done thinking about the war. This probably did a good job distracting Americans from peace negotiations. As if this weren't enough, the Great Depression came and knocked the wind out of the world economy. Instead of caring about the Treaty of Versailles, Americans were concentrating on making ends meet. Since the Treaty of Versailles is commonly thought to be the leading cause for World War II, it is easy to see in our current time that the Treaty of Versailles was not fit to create a lasting peace after World War I. In only a matter of a few short years, Adolf Hitler had grasped the throat of Europe, powered mainly through the pent-up resentment of the German people. To learn more about this period, I recommend checking out the following documents. The first is a book in which are transcribed speeches of several senators voicing the Senate's opposition to the Treaty of Versailles. The second is a very detailed analysis of the actual effect that war reparations were dishing out on Germany's economy. The third is President Woodrow Wilson's 14 points, or his model of what he wished the Treaty of Peace would consist of.